Okay, it's been a day and a half since we had the first harvest of garlic and the first aftermath. So since this part collapsed here, so we're coming in here and taking stock of things. We just kind of chucked these in here temporarily anyway, but since the system's not going to work, we went ahead and we built this. This is a similar type setup, except we have wood pieces that are making a frame which can hopefully keep the cattle panel, or in this case a hog panel, from falling like it did over there. Now what this is very simple. It's a 16-foot piece of just 2x4, just straight across, and then we have end pieces on both sides, and then we have vertical pieces that attached using Kreg jig hidden screw holes there. And the reason I wanted to do this is I was afraid that it might get too heavy by having this piece over here and screwing it in this way. And so, because wood is very good in compression is the force that goes down. So we have cattle panel here followed by wood, and it's just wood straight all the way down. And so that's what I wanted. Now the only thing we don't know until we go to put this on is it going to carry the load? So what we're going to do now is we're going to start with the garlic that we had to put back into the yard cart because our little system collapsed. And we're going to start brushing off all of the dirt on these, and then we're going to put them into the new shelving system. Now any corms that we find, we're putting in here, and the purpose of this is we're gonna try to sell the corms and not try to replant them. So we'll see how that goes. But any bulb that has cloved out and is pretty, like this one right here, this one has definitely cloved out and it's pretty. By pretty, I mean it still has all of its nice, they call it the paper, which is the outer skin. And it looks nice and hasn't split or anything. We're going to move those. Like this one here, this one has cloved out, but it has split. So you can't really sell that because it's, quote, not pretty. So we're going to try to segregate all of these as we find them to see how many we have. And hopefully we have enough by the end of the season, or by the end of the harvest, to be able to sell. So without further ado, we're going to start transferring this and sticking it on the other side. Okay, much better. So now everything on our original system is now been transferred. All of the ones that the stems had broke off are over here. So we just went ahead and put them on the bread racks. I mean, we have a ton of bread racks, so we might as well use them. All of the, quote, pretty ones, of the ones that we're going to be able to sell, are up here, like this. There are 90 of these. So this is our first row. So out of 450, we got 90, which equates to about 20% of good ones. Now, ideally we're wanting it to be a lot higher than that, but we think it's because of over the winter we kind of forgot to fertilize. So we think it was a lack of nitrogen, because you would have a bulb like this one here, which is a huge bulb, and then right next to it would be like a little small onion. And so all of the onions, all of the small cloved out ones, and all of the cloved ones that were good, as in they were pretty big, but they were split, as in, let me try to find one. Like this one right here, you see where the cloves are, but they're split and you can visibly see the cloves. Those you can't sell. So they'll just get dried, and then we'll split them out, and then we'll just plant them in the ground next year. So they'll be used, don't worry about it, but they will, we won't be able to sell them. So what we ended up doing is, it's Wednesday morning now. We harvested all of this Monday evening, and then I spent yesterday building, well, Andrea and I, we both were building this contraption. And so these sat for about a day and a half. And so what we did is we got as much dirt off of them today, and the dirt is pretty much dry by now, so it's was pretty easy to do. Andrea's actually going through, and any corms that fell off into the dirt that we were doing, she's sifting through that now. As per usual, we got a lot of corms. Now, one thing I didn't know coming into this is if the weight of the garlic was going to be too much for this span, because this span is 16 feet. But so far, we've done about 2/3 of that bottom row, and it's drooped about a 1/2 inch. So I'll check it again once we have the entire row done, but I think it'll be good. Worst case scenario, we just stick more of these things and just stick them in the center. But I was trying to hurry up and get this thing done yesterday, so I didn't do that. So anyway, this is our garlic curing area 2.0. Now, row number 1 and row number 2 were what we call the big rows, because most of our large cloves and onions were in those 2 rows. So it looks like we can easily fit row number 2 in here, and we could possibly fit part of row 3 in this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to disassemble the original contraption. We're going to put all the cattle panels on the ground, and then where they're bent, like right there, we're going to stick CMU on top of them to try to straighten them back out. And then we're going to use these same cattle panels here on the rack system here, because the cattle panels are still good, and it's the wood that's carrying all of the weight. The cattle panels are just there to make sure that the garlic doesn't fall through. And nothing has fell. The only thing that's fallen through is the occasional corm, like there's some on the ground right there. But other than that, I call this a lot better success. Now, my aunt said that we need to check these every few days to make sure that the bottoms of them are going to be dry. But here's the underneath view of the top row. So there's a decent amount of airspace in here, in between all of these, because how these were done is I put the first row in and then put the next one behind it. So the bulbs weren't on top of each other. They were kind of layered back. And then they would just be sitting on top of the stems like they are up here. I'm just showing you these because it's easier to show these than to get on the ground and show you the ones from the bottom, but they were done the same way. And so that's what we got to do. I figured that if we ran out of curing area, we could take bread crates and stick them on the ground here and then put another garlic row on the bottom. But if we can do this and get them in this density, we might have enough space to actually cure all this stuff. So we shall see. So next step is to build the second one, but we can also start on row number 2 because we definitely have enough space here to do row number 2. So garlic curing area 2.0, I think, is a success.